We're going to start this new module that talks about atomic structure, having to talk about the theory of light. Why do we need to talk about light when we are really trying to understand atomic structure? It's because of this very principle, the idea that moving charges such as electrons can create light, and light can make electrons or charges move. This means that we will be using light in order to understand atomic structure. And probably you're familiar with the so-called electromagnetic spectrum. You may know that there's different kinds of light. Depending on its frequency or wavelength, there are gamma rays, X-rays, ultraviolet, the visible, that what the human eye can see is very tiny. There's infrared, microwaves, and then the radio waves and long radio waves. So what kind of charges can different areas of the electromagnetic spectrum move? For example, X-rays can move electrons in the inner core of heavy atoms. This is why in X-ray or CT scan you can see the calcium or the iodine of your body. You don't see the carbon, for example. Okay, that's what X-rays are good for. Ultraviolet or color can be used to move the electrons or your valence shell. The infrared, probably you're familiar with the infrared spectroscopy. Infrared light can be used to make molecules vibrate, or microwave, like a microwave oven, it makes molecules rotate. This should be, of course, an atom does not rotate. It does rotate, but microwaves light makes molecules rotate. And finally, for example, the technique so-called as NMR or MRI, nuclear magnetic resonance, what it makes move is the nuclear spins. And I'm guessing you're familiar with many of these spectroscopies, and we will need to understand how light behaves before we jump into understanding the structure of atoms.